I want to kind of talk about what I understand as prayer. I mean, I think one of the most beautiful things that ever happened, and one of maybe the worst interpreted events, was when on the Sermon on the Mount, people were asking Jesus, how do you pray? He just come down out of the mountains from praying. Now, we all assumed Jesus prayed, and we assumed Jesus prayed like us. And he taught the Our Father right then, which was it's a beautiful prayer as a starting point, but he was matching the needs of the people. I understood that ultimately what you're trying to pray again is to God. You're trying to reach right into God and experience God back. And to do that, sometimes we need intercessory help, but we want to eventually get to this place of prayer without ceasing, a continuous prayer. And I think one of the problems that everybody has with this idea is that we all have different ideas of what prayer is about. And I remember when Ron first asked me to become a monk, he said he wanted me to commit to praying 2 hours a day. And I was like, what? I mean, at least what I'm being guided to is to pray all the time. So I knew that we were good. I mean, but I understood that there were other people that had all different ideas of prayer. And so I've handed this out in other retreats before. It was an outline of different levels of God and therefore different levels of prayer. And I think what happens for people when they see prayer without ceasing, especially if it's at the second or third level, it means you have to beg and barter. You have to be on your knees constantly. You have to constantly be bartering with God. I mean, that's not prayer as far as I understand it. This is lost. This is pushing God away. With the next 3 levels of Creator, 4, 5, and 6, you hope that it works out. So hope for a lot of people in a continuous way without stopping is a great step toward getting where you need to go. But the next level up is decrease, which is setting a trap for God, which is what Ron taught as the bottom level of what we need to do here at Celebrating Life, is setting decrees for action to happen. So praying without ceasing is decreeing all day. Thank you, God, for everything. That's a decree. As much as it isn't always about making things happen out there. It's about making things happen in here. Because the prayer without ceasing is an internal state we want to be in. The next level that I teach in my school is sending a flow of God, seeing yourself as wonderfully made, and sending a flow of that prayer out in the world or back to yourself. And in this idea of sending a flow, which I found to be a continuous, can be a continuous thing, you're creating your day just as many different teachers teach. But what I'm trying to work on now, what they've been asking me over and over, is intention. Being wonderfully made, being the presence of God all the time.